How are you doing, by the way?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm good. It's Monday. So hanging in there. You are probably riding on a high. You just got Tony nominated.
I did.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I first saw You Hurt My Feelings at Sundance and absolutely fell in love. Like
Yeah.
I was at the press screening for it and just was like, oh my gosh, I've never related more to a piece of art. And I'm sure you're getting that a lot. When you first read the script, what were your thoughts? Did you feel similarly?
Oh yeah. I felt uncomfortable. I thought it was funny. I felt it was sad. I felt like I've been there. I felt like there's a lot of that. I
Yeah,
felt and also, I don't know where you live, but I'm just switching these guys up.
you're good.
Um, I don't know where you live, but I live in New York, and so all my friends are theater people. So I see a ton plays. And I don't know if you can imagine, but not all of the plays are great.
Yep. Yep.
And so I very much relate to that kind of experience a lot.
So you play an actor that's kind of unsure of his talent, which is we find out as an audience that that is also questioned by his wife, played by Michaela Watkins. Like, how was it channeling the themes of uncertainty and doubt that surround a film like that into? I'm sure, like you probably got in your head a lot, like questioning your own self.
Oh my gosh, of course. I still
Yeah.
do. Everyone does. I mean, you have one bad show. I'm on Broadway right now in A Doll's House. You do one bad show on Broadway, and you're kind of like, maybe I'm a fraud. I think I'm a fraud. And
I
then
feel that. Yeah.
so no, it happens all the time. I think I think when we were shooting, there was a scene in You Hurt My Feelings where he's in a play
Right.
with the amazing Josh Pace, and with the two of us, and we Nicole and I were constantly contemplating or navigating how good of an actor he is or isn't.
Right.
And weirdly, we both knew he was not great, and we knew he was not bad.
Okay.
That was clear. But we were like, I thought he was a little worse than Nicole thought he was. So navigating that in that scene of trying to like figure out like, oh, he's kind of good. No, is a real kind of like tricky balance. And I will say it was a real delight at how it all turned out because you have a little bit of all of it. You could feel like, oh, he's good. He's good. Well, he's not. I mean, is he good enough to keep doing it? Is he good? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so that kind of like minute, microscopic understanding of the human condition is like my jam, and Nicole is like the literally the best at it. So it's great.
Um, Talk to me about filming that like birthday dinner scene where kind of Tobias Menzies and Louis-Dreyfus's marriage and relationship kind of come to a head. You and Michaela Watkins are there adding your own ad lib. Um, Talk to me about like how that scene was filmed, what kind of talks went into that scene. Was there a lot of improv?
Um, you know, the improv. I'm going to start with the improv question.
Sure.
I just wish I remembered more. I'm sure there was a little. We were saying the script, but I'm sure it was a
Right.
little loose around the corners, maybe. I just remember the only line that I remember improvising was the line about the Greek olive oil.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and now that I said that, I'm like, I hope that's true. I think I did improvise about that because I think I just bought Greek olive oil. That's kind of the vaguely remember I have. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing because it didn't feel like work.
Right.
It felt like we just had to be there and respond and like lots of eye contacts and a lot of like, oh boy, this is getting uncomfortable. And remember, the conversation starts with I quit acting.
Right. Yeah.
I'm quitting acting. And the other thing that was amazing is that we had all these like jokes in the middle. There's a belching thing. She's got a bunch of jokes. Michaela's got a bunch of jokes. Like so much comedy is happening in there, but it didn't feel like we were doing a sketch. It felt like we were just being in the room, and it just felt really natural and easy and comfortable, to be honest with you. And Julia is like, I mean, she is just so impressive as a comedian. I mean, I mean, that's saying something so silly, but because everyone knows that, but it's wildly impressive.
My mother was in a theater program with her, like back in the 70s.
In Northwestern?
No, actually, they did a summer program at American University
Oh, in DC?
in DC, where I'm from.
Wow.
And she always said that like Julia was so generous, and she could just tell like right away, like once they were working together, that she had that spark.
Yeah, she's a really generous person.
So can I talk about your on-screen wife for a second? Because I've been such a huge fan of
Oh,
Michaela
she's the best.
for forever. Talk to me about like what was the best part about sharing so many scenes with her?
How much she cares about me.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
she really cares for him. You know what I mean? Like he's wound tight. His palms are clammy. He doesn't feel right. He hasn't done theater in a long time. It's all kind of like not going well for this poor guy.
Yeah.
He really knows how to maneuver them. I gotta say, the best thing about this movie is the two couples relationships in this movie is so admirable and exciting and like real and also
Oh, real.
like complicated. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think what's amazing about her performance is how much she cares about me. She really just like is tender towards it. Um, and again, what I love about her is also, even though we know that there's maybe jokes in there, we're not going after the bits.
No.
We're just going for the truth. And then the truth is kind of like, will be funny enough.
Is that something that Nicole kind of like manifested on set? Was that something that was kind of pushed forward by
I think,
her?
well, knowing her work,
Yeah.
the style is already dropped in. I'll say
Yeah.
it like that. But the writing is the key. The writing is essential because the writing lets us understand what it feels like to be fired, and like, you know, um, that's the key. The same with Succession too. Same with The Doll's House. I mean, to be honest with you, like the writing is the thing that I think is the real strength to understand where that lies.
I was going to say your career has really like taken off in the last 5 years with Succession, with Inventing Anna. You joined the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Obviously, I just said you were Tony nominated for A Doll's House. When you look for a role now, what sort of thing are you looking for? Because I assume you can be more selective now. Yeah.
That's a good question. I'm going to be very honest to say that I've been very selective for a long time, because before Succession, I only played Middle Eastern characters.
Yeah.
And at a very young age, at 24, 25, something like that, I decided I'm not doing terrorist roles. And so this is in 2004. I moved to the city in 2002. So then I didn't work, to be honest, because there's no roles. There was no opportunities. And so being selective is a big deal to me, because it goes back to your initial question. I really try to find, the first thing is the script. The second thing is the people. And the third thing is like, are we going after something that's going to move the needle in any which way? Even a comedy like You Hurt My Feelings, I think it's giving us all a little bit of an opportunity, especially in the art field, or not even, maybe every field, to be like self-examining a little bit of like, what is our understanding with criticism? Like, can we as loved ones say to one another, no, I love you, and I think that's what I look for. Something that to move the needle of this, so we can kind of like leave this, society a little bit better than the way we found it.
You brought up Succession earlier, which is ending in 2 episodes. I won't ask any specific questions about that. But on You Hurt My Feelings, you worked with Tobias Menzies, who's been in so many franchise shows like The Crown, like Game of Thrones, which is arguably like Succession, and even
Yeah.
Outlander. Did you talk about that at all with him? And did you talk about how to land like a big plane like Succession in terms of like moving on, or just in a big show ending, really?
Yeah, no. We didn't actually because no, we didn't. We honestly, when you're shooting a movie, sometimes all you can do is just like, can we just run the lines? And
Fair.
so we actually didn't. I should have asked him that. Corlin, where were you a year ago?
I mean, a year ago, were you
Why
guys
didn't you tell
during
me
quarantine?
this? Yeah. Also, the other crazy thing about this is Nicole got COVID in the middle of
Oh
our shooting.
shoot.
So she directed like a week via Zoom or whatever,
Yeah. Well,
as you do.
how was that as like, talk to
That
me
was a
about that.
that was a bummer. That was a bummer
Yeah.
for all of us. I think it crushed her the most.
Yeah, I'm
You're
sure.
a writer and director, you do all this work, and then
This
all
is
of a
her
sudden, COVID,
baby. Yeah.
this is your baby, this baby of all babies. But yeah, there was a couple of days. So we would do a scene, and then we'd go to like a laptop, and then we'd like get on the headphones and be like, do this, try this, and do that. And I was like, okay. So that's kind of what happened. That was a bummer. But overall it was, just a real easy, kind of simple. There was no pressure. You know what I mean? It felt like really lived in, like we walked in, you know. So it was a kind of an amazing experience.
It's an amazing film to watch. Just the vibe. You definitely feel it being very, very easy to shoot. And I love how the tension builds very, very gradually. Like
Yeah, it doesn't pop
it
immediately. It's
doesn't
just like,
pop right away, but it also doesn't feel like it's boring and not saying anything in that time either, which I feel like some
mm-mm,
films do that.
mm-hmm.
So you guys should be so, 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 so
We're
proud.
thrilled. We're thrilled of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you done anything to celebrate your Tony nomination yet?
Have I done it? Yeah. I had a night. I had a night.
Yeah, just yeah.
I'm trying to think if there were Succession folks there that night. There might have actually been. Yeah, there was a couple of days after the Tony nomination. I think it was that Thursday night. I'm just like, everyone, we're coming here. Come over here and let's hang. It was cool. It's cool. It's the last time I was nominated. I was doing a play with Robin Williams, and that didn't get a lot of nominations. I was one of the like only 4 nominations that came out of that. And this time, Jessica, myself, Amy, and Jamie all got one. And
Yeah.
so there's so it's a different celebratory feeling. Like we're all like so proud of each other in a way. Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. Do you live in New York or in LA?
I live in DC.
Oh, you're in DC. Well,
I
come
live in
on
DC.
up.
Yeah, I'll
Come.
come see you.
You should. I mean, it's
I
a
read
real
that
masterwork.
I read that play in high school, and I have seen certain adaptations of it. And
I,
I've
I've heard.
heard that your production is like amazing.
I'll tell you, there are certain famous Oscar-winning actors that I've seen it like 3 or 4 times.
Okay. Well, then I guess I
Yeah,
have to do it now.
you gotta go.
Gotta go. Yeah.
Gotta go.
Cool. Well, I guess my last question for
Hmm.
you would be, um, this this film really this film really dissects, or dissects isn't the right word. Um, this film really looks at the little lies that we tell each other in order like to get through relationships, to get through the day, in order to not fight. Did you learn anything? Did you take anything away from that with that? Any like personal
I wish I,
comments?
I wish I was as I think if I were to do a thing like a
Right.
book,
Yeah.
and I put all my energy, eggs in this basket in this book, and the book is coming out,
Mm-hmm.
and at this point, I hope my loved ones just lie to me. If they hate it, I think I'm not as well adjusted as the lovely folks in Nicole's. I don't think it matters that much
Right.
to like really go, but it meaning it's okay if like you go by, you do a play or you do a movie and they're like, oh, it was good, and that's okay to go back. It's and then you can like in 5 years be like, oh, I guess it wasn't that good. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's worse to be like, oh, this is terrible, right? And you're like, I can't do anything with that. Like, when So I don't know. There's a part of me that's kind of like, sometimes those little white lies might, you know. But there's also a part of me that watches this movie and it's like, just take it. Just take
Yeah.
it. It's
Yeah.
gonna make the relationship better.
If you
Just
can't take
take
the
it.
bad, how do you know that the good compliments are good?
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Well, when I say I genuinely love this movie, I truly mean that. I
Oh,
would not
thank you.
lie to you.
No, I appreciate you,
Um,
Portland.
I really did love this one. I hope everybody sees it, whether
Me
you're
too.
in creative fields or not, because I think it's a good therapy movie.
Yeah, it really is. It's nice to have a little comedy, a little something that's like light and fun and smart, and I love that about it.
Thanks for checking out the show. If you like what we're laying down, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell to receive notifications for all of our latest stuff.